Hey YouTube, welcome to episode 27 of my investment journey series. The series we do here on my YouTube channel where I take you guys through my investments on my Trading212 account from the past week. So this week there's actually been three big things that's happened. That includes dividends, orders and some sales on some of the stocks I already had. So yeah, we've hit all three things this week. And I've actually wrote down what these things are because obviously you'll know if you're a long time viewer that I use my iPhone to record these videos. I don't have a camera or nothing like that yet. Quite bare bones, just doing it as it comes to me sort of thing with my iPhone, so I keep it kind of basic. So I'm filming this with my iPhone, so I can't really film me and check things on my iPhone at the same time. I could obviously use a laptop, might end up doing that in the future, whatever. So I've wrote down what happened. So this week we got a dividend from the S&P 500 that was invested in, got a dividend from the FTSE 100, and bought into quite a few more stocks, increased my positions in some of my current holdings, which includes McDonald's, Starbucks. I've bought a few new stocks, which I will show you. We'll jump over to my Trading212 portfolio on the iPhone again in a minute or so, and I'll show you those. And I've also sold a few stocks, I've sold one stock this past week, something that I rarely do. Especially you guys that watch this weekly, you'll know I don't really sell. I'm definitely a buy and hold guy, and I like to keep my things long term. I don't think short term, I think in 5, 10, 15 years down the line. So yeah, we've had all three things like I say this week. And yeah, I've also deposited some more money into my Trading212 account this week, which has obviously helped me increase some positions in some of the stocks that I already held and whatnot. So yeah, we'll get into that, but first of all, if you are watching this and you enjoy this sort of content, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel and to me if you've not already subscribed, especially if you've watched a few of my videos in the past and you've still not subscribed. Just do me a favour and make my Saturday that bit better by clicking that subscribe button. We're now over 500 subscribers, which is absolutely mental. I just think it's crazy. I actually got an email from YouTube today saying that's now enough people to fill an entire jumbo jet plane. So I'm just trying to picture all of you guys sitting in that plane and me talking to you all. And yeah, I don't think I could do that. But obviously speaking to a camera like this, uploading it to YouTube, that's a bit different. It's just me here, my two cats. Wife's out the house just now, so you know, no one else is really listening. But it's a different story, like I say, if you're talking in front of people in a room. Anyway, going off topic again, as I sometimes do, let's jump over to my iPhone screen. We'll get into my Trading212 portfolio and we will go through what's happened this past week. Thank you again guys for watching, really appreciate it, and we will speak to you soon. And here we go. So straight away you'll notice the portfolio value is now £9,189.29. So I've now invested a total of £8,960.84, and that's shown that return there, which is actually healthy this time, looking good, of £228.45, so that is 2.55% in the green. If we look at the weekly view, as we always do, nice little staircase going on here all the way up, which is what we like to see. Looking from last weekend, showing on the Sunday, we can see the return is £22.59, so 0.27% on the portfolio in the green. So we went from that 0.27% to the 2.55% in the green. So yeah, looking healthy, pretty decent week considering. Didn't look that good at some points, but we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, my Trading212 ISA is now showing that utilisation of 37%. So I've deposited that £7,428.65. And obviously within your 2020 limit of an ISA, you get £20,000. So yeah, I've still got £12,571.35 to deposit before the 6th of April 2021. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, sadly. It'd be brilliant if I could, but we'll just have to see what happens. So we'll start off this week by just going to the dividends and we'll look at what's actually been received, like I was saying in the intro of this video. So I mentioned the S&P 500, which I received on Monday, the 5th of October, and that was a dividend of £7.15. So that was because I had 80 shares in the S&P 500 ETF, and yeah, those 80 shares paid out, or they equate to that dividend there of £7.15. So yeah, I was chuffed with that. I actually forgot I was getting that one earlier this week, so that was a nice surprise when I saw that pop up on my iPhone. And the next dividend was the FTSE 100 later in the week, so that was on the 7th October, I think that was Wednesday, and that was a dividend of £19.77. That's my biggest dividend so far. I was absolutely chuffed to receive that one, and that's because I've got 345 shares, or at least I had 345 shares at that point in the FTSE 100 ETF. So yeah, I received that dividend there, £19.77. So since the beginning of April, which is when I started investing, I've now received a total of £87.21 in dividends. I wouldn't say that's too shabby, especially when you consider the fact I'm not really a dividend investor. I'm more of a growth investor, and I definitely have a focus on ETFs, and I've still received £87.21. So yeah, I'm chuffed with that. Let me know in the comment section below what your dividends have been so far this year, and also let me know when you started investing. Just be interesting to get a bit of discussion around dividends and what people are actually receiving. And then if we just come back to the all section here, and we can just go to beginning of this week, so the 5th of October, and I'll just take you through exactly what's happened. So yeah, I started off with that dividend amount there which I received. Then I bought a bit more into McDonald's and Starbucks. I then received my dividend of FTSE 100 on the Wednesday, £19.77. And then I decided to put another £641 of my own savings into my Trading 212 account, and with that money I went on to purchase the iShares Global Clean Energy ETF, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's been on my watch list for a long time, so yeah, finally decided to bite the bullet and get in there. I also went for the VanEck Vectors Video Gaming and Esports ETF. I'm a big fan of video games, not so much somebody who plays them these days. I used to play a lot of them in the past, but I can really see gaming getting even bigger, and especially the esports industry. If you're not too sure what esports is, I recommend you do a bit of research into it. I think it's going to be something that's definitely going to boom in the coming years. That's just my opinion, obviously. So yeah, I wanted to open a position in an ETF which would give me exposure to that, and I thought this was the best one to do so. I then bought 2.5 more units in the S&P 500 ETF, and then I decided to actually sell one of my investments. So that was Under Armour here. I had 3 units. They were all free shares I received from you wonderful folk out there who have been signing up through my referral links with Trading 212. So yeah, I sold those 3 shares that I had with Under Armour, and I actually made £2.78 profit with that, as you can see there. I've been holding off for a while on selling them just until it was actually in the green, and then I saw on Wednesday it actually went into the green for me, so I decided to get rid of them. It's not really something I'm interested in. I mean, I don't particularly want to hold them long term, so I just thought get rid of them and not have to think about it anymore. And then on the 8th of October I decided to increase my position in Legal & General Group, so I bought 75 more shares, which is shown up there, that £151.58. Big fan of Legal & General, I really like them. It's one of my favourite UK stocks, and they always seem to pay a really healthy dividend. So yeah, I have a lot of faith in them as a company, and I think long term it's going to be a really good investment to keep in my portfolio. And then if we carry on up here, we can see I bought 13 more shares in Royal Dutch Shell. I'm just kind of averaging my position down with them just now. Obviously oil and just the whole oil industry in general is really badly affected right just now. It's not just Shell, we've got likes of BP and lots of other companies, but Shell's the one I'm invested in, so I'm just trying to average my position down a little bit. And then moving on, we've got McDonald's and Starbucks. I bought some more in with them. Then I bought 1 more unit in the iShares Physical Gold ETF just to increase my position there. Again, I like having a bit of gold in my portfolio just so it's a bit more diversified, and that's why I decided to increase that a little bit. I then decided to buy a bit more in the iShares Global Clean Energy ETF, so I bought another 2.5 units. And then looking at how things were with the FTSE 100 this week, I thought it was a good time to also increase my position there a little, so I bought 3.5 units, costing me £20.73. And then finally, just yesterday, so Friday, before the market started closed, I bought another 1.25 units in the S&P 500 ETF, and yeah, that's kind of what's been going on this past week. So coming back to the portfolio overview here, we'll look at my investments quickly. We're seeing green, red, red, green, 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 red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. We're getting a bit of a pattern going on there. So American Airlines is showing £5.19 in the green, so that's 34.46% up since that investment or that position has been opened. My Cineworld Group investment, my 200 shares, obviously they've recently announced a lot of job cuts. They've announced the cinemas are going to be closing across the UK, Ireland, etc. Not looking great for them, but still long-term hold for me. They're not completely going out of business. They are planning to open up again next year, and hopefully when things are a bit more normal then we will see the cinema industry sort of boom again. So yeah, Cineworld Group has shown that minus £17.06 for me, so I'm actually in the red with this one, and yeah, I guess long-term it will improve in my opinion. but it's just going to be tough times for now until things do eventually get a bit better. Coming down to Hive Group, my 25 shares, and we can see that it's actually minus £12.47 there, so I'm still down on this one overall, down by 43.06% actually. So yeah, not too great. Again, when things do get back to normal, I believe that'll go up, and I can hopefully then look to sell out and make a bit of profit. But for now, I'm just going to carry on holding as is. Don't see the point in selling it right just now, just to make £16.49. So yeah, I'm just going to keep hold of that for the time being. iShares Core FTSE 100 ETF, again one of my biggest holdings, and shown there now I've got my 355 units in this ETF, and it's £81.90 in the green for me, so 4.06% up overall. Chuffed with that. Again, long-term hold, a lot of faith in the FTSE 100, thinking long-term. Obviously right just now it's og to pot, we've got the pandemic, we've got the upcoming Brexit, whenever that eventually happens, who knows. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty around the FTSE 100, and it's definitely reflecting in the share price at the moment, but again, long term, I'm thinking it'll be all good. Coming down to the S&P 500 ETF, iShares, I've got my 83.75 units there now, so that's £2,222.93 it's showing, so I'm positive £231.25, so I'm up quite well there, 11.61% in the green. Chuffed with that one. Again, to pay a dividend, which is good exposure to the American markets, all 500 of the top companies in America. Yeah, big fan, biggest holding in my portfolio, will continue to be that way. The iShares Global Clean Energy ETF, this is one like I say, I was wanting to add for a long time in my portfolio, and I'm glad I finally did. This week they've actually it's been quite a rally, to be honest. You can see it's just kind of went up. I bought in around this point here, so I have made some profits, as you can see already, and then it started to climb again before the markets closed. So yeah, hopefully that continues into next week. There's no getting away from it. Clean energy, it's just the way the world's going. I mean, even the likes of your oil companies like Shell, BP, they're making that transition right just now, which will obviously take them a long time to do so, in my opinion, but they're obviously moving towards renewables and focusing on their green energy. So yeah, it's just the way the world's going. I think it only makes sense to have a position in these sort of ETFs, and long term, definitely profit to be had there. So happy to have this in my portfolio, and hopefully it will continue to climb. Nasdaq 100 ETF next up, my 2 units, £84.18 in the green, so that's that 9.09% increase overall with this investment. Big fan of technology, again, definitely one I want to continue holding, one I will continue to add to when I can. But like I've said in previous videos, it's an expensive ETF to buy into, which is why I only have the 2 units at the time being. The iShares Physical Gold ETF, I've got my 16 units there, currently showing minus £27.48, so we're 5.6% down with this investment. But again, long term with gold, I think it's just a good thing to have to help diversify your portfolio, and I do believe this will eventually rally again. So yep, happy to hold long term, and I'm not really thinking about that one too much at the moment. The iShares S&P 500 Healthcare Sector ETF, so this is actually in the green for me, but not by much, 19p as you can see, so 0.8%. And this recently did go up. Just when Donald Trump was actually released from hospital, I noticed this one going up. I was thinking on selling out of it in I think one of my last videos, but I think for just now it only makes sense to continue to hold it, especially as more news develops around a potential vaccine for this pandemic we're going through. So yeah, I'll continue to hold, and we'll see what happens over the coming months. Next down here, one of my favourite UK stocks, as I always say, my Legal & General, 250 shares, currently in the red, £3.94, so we're down 0.79%, but again, long-term hold, like their dividends, I like them as a company overall, happy to have it in my portfolio, happy to continue to add to it as and when. So yep, nothing's really going to change there, that will always be a staple in this portfolio. McDonald's is next up here, £1.15 in the green, 0.9%. Happy to hold, again, something that I would use quite a lot of, maybe not this month, because this month I'm actually banning myself from having takeaways completely, just to see if I can do it. So yeah, no McDonald's for me, but again, I'm happy to have it in my portfolio, and I think as a company overall, I cannot see them going anywhere in 5-10 years time. I think they're only going to get bigger, so I believe it makes sense to only have part of them as an investment. My 5 shares in MGM Resorts, this one was a bit of a gamble, it's not really paid off yet. Again, thinking long term, hopefully it will. So we'll just see what happens. Currently £7.88 in the red, so 8.78% down. National Grid's next up, my 5 free shares that I've received from you wonderful folks out there, again, going through my referral links for Trading 212. That's now showing a return of 60 pence in the green, so 1.3%. Not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I might sell it. I'm not too interested as with National Grid overall as a company. They're quite a boring company in terms of trading 212, but I think I only feel that way because it's usually one of the free shares that you will receive is a National Grid free share. But overall, I think they're a solid company and probably does make sense to hold it. So yeah, help me out in the comment section with this one, guys. What do you think I should do? Should I continue to hold? Should I increase my position in it with my own funds? Should I just leave it long term, see how it goes? Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think's best. Royal Dutch Shell's next up here, 100 shares. I don't think oil's anywhere near done yet. I know clean energy is definitely looking to be the future, especially with the push from the governments and how companies are really starting to make a focus on clean energy, renewables, etc. But yeah, long term, I think oil's still got a good 5-10 years left, at least, in my opinion. But I could be totally wrong, so please don't listen to me. That is just my own thoughts. So yeah, 100 shares, currently showing that return there, £229 and 82 pence in the red. So 18.99% down with this investment. But I'm going to continue averaging my position down with this. And yeah, long-term hold. Let's see where we are in 5 years. Next up, Starbucks, so it's £3.44 in the green, 3.87% up with this investment. It's part of my busy pie along with McDonald's, and I've got £92.39 there. That's the value of this one at the moment. So again, long-term hold. I use Starbucks quite often, maybe not recently, because like I say, I'm banning myself from takeaways this month. That also includes coffees from Starbucks. So yep, I think long-term, I can't see them going anywhere. I think in 5-10 years they'll still be surviving, if not even bigger than what they currently are. So happy to have this as part of my portfolio. Next up's the VanEck Vectors video game esports ETF that I talked about. Again, gaming, big fan. I think it's definitely an industry that's about to boom even more. It's only going to get bigger in my opinion. If you don't know what esports is, go and do some research into it, see what you think. But happy to have this one. I'm glad I've finally got a position in this. Ticker symbol is ESPO. If you want to do a bit more research on it, you can check it out and let me know in the comments section what you think of this one, because I'd be really interested to get some of your thoughts. The Vanguard FTSE Emerging Markets ETF, I've got my 22 units in this one. Big fan of this ETF, like I always say, diversifies the portfolio nicely. Definitely one I'm going to continue to add to, and yeah, no plans to get rid of this anytime soon. So again, long-term hold, happy with it. And yeah, nothing else to say on that at the moment. A quick look at the pies here. So I'm not going to go into detail with each of these because some of these I've not even added to or done anything with yet. The busy pie, like I say, that's my McDonald's and my Starbucks one. 55% split on McDonald's and the 45% split with Starbucks. So that'll be one I'll continue to add to. I've also created my ETF pie now, so I've kind of chucked all my ETFs into this pie. But there's quite a bit of work to be done with this, quite a bit of rebalancing needs to be done, and I just need to sort things out a bit here. It's a bit of a mess. I'm still kind of getting used to the whole pies on Trading 212. I get how they work, understand the basics behind them, but I've still got a bit more reading to do, so I will continue to research into them and hopefully clean this up in the next few videos. And yeah, I've got this free shares pie. I was going to chuck all my free shares into there, but I've not really done that yet. And I've also got this UK tech pie, which is just some companies I was looking at around UK technology, but I've also not done anything with that one yet. So the allocation view, overall 17 investments, it's now £9,189 and 29 pence a portfolio. It's crazy to see how much it's grown over the past 27 weeks with regular deposits from my savings and increases in some of the investments. S&P 500 is still at the top and it will probably continue to be that way, followed by the FTSE 100 and then the Vanguard FTSE Emerging Markets ETF, and then of course we've got the Nasdaq 100 and Royal Dutch Shell, and then everything else below is under the 10% mark, as you can see there. If you're interested in signing up to Trading 212 and starting your investment journey, please consider doing so through my referral link, which you can see here on the screen. If you sign up through this link, create a Trading 212 account and deposit a minimum of £1, you will receive a free share worth up to £100, and so will I. So that's how things are looking this week, guys. Healthy enough week, a lot better than last week. Hopefully it continues. We'll see what happens into next week as the markets open. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this sort of stuff, hit the like button. Consider subscribing, especially if you've seen a few of my videos and you've not subscribed yet. Please go and do so. We're over 500 subscribers now, so the push to 1,000 really does continue. And yeah, that's all. Thanks again. We will see you in the next video.